Thank you for joining me for my first long form video on this channel. I usually keep things short and sweet, ripping open Dragon Ball Z packs, sports cards, WWE, and of course Pokemon cards from the Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet eras. I'm always in search of the best these sets have to offer. But today's a special day. Today is a little bit different. Today I will be revealing a PSA graded card return. And in front of me here I have 22 Pokemon cards from a mix of modern Japanese and English sets. There are some absolute huge bangers in here, and there are some incredible artwork waiting to be revealed. So for my Poke investors out there, in the top left hand corner, what I'll do will be keeping track of the graded card prices. So I'll put those up there, and then on the top right I'll put the tally of the grades there, so you can see how many 10s, how many 9s we get. And then at the end of the reveal, I'll break down the total cost. I want to give you some transparency, how much it cost me, how much the cards are worth, and whether there is any profit and loss to that. So that includes everything such as the purchasing the card and the cost to me, the grading of those cards, shipping, and we see really if we're making any money off those things. So without further ado, let's reveal some grades. So the first one up here is a Japanese card for anyone kind of new to the hobby, because I know there's a lot of people coming in inspired by Surging Sparks and Prismatic Evolutions. Is that it says Japanese. Well, on the front it's got Japanese writing on, but on the back it's got that golden border with these Pokeballs with the different types of energies in there and things. So you can tell it's different anyway automatically from the back. So this is a Japanese one. Oh, what a cool card. So this one's a Tatsugiri and it's 10. I'm looking at the card, I didn't even realise what the grade was. A 10, so Gem Mint. That's a great card. I love this artwork. I love the cartooniness of it. He looks pretty chill there. Tatsugiri chilled out on his little sushi bed of rice there. So really cool card. I like that one a lot. I'm glad I got that one graded and hitting a 10. So we're off to a great start there. I'll put these to one side so you can't see them, but I'll bring them back afterwards. Iridia, so this one is a V-Star Universe, again in a 10, excellent card. This is one that I would probably put on eBay. I don't tend to collect these cards, so someone else could enjoy it. So this is one that I would sell and then kind of roll into the money into the next collection. So great card though, pretty cool, lots of trainers on there. I really like that one. So the next one is an English one. Again, you can tell that this is English, very different to that Japanese. Very different to that Japanese backing on there. So even from the title, you can tell it's an English card. Charmander. Excuse me, I always get this one wrong, but it's Palladium Fates, or is it Paldean Fates? I'm going to call it Paldean Fates. I get them wrong all the time. I don't mean to. I pronounce them wrong. Maybe it's my English accent there, trying to overpronounce things. But this Charmander is so cool. This shiny baby rare is one of my favorites from the set, and it got a 10 as well, and that is amazing. This is a really cool card, and that is one I would keep for my personal collection. I love that card. I think it's really cool. One of my favorites in there. And then next one is Japanese. Oh, this is one of my son's favorite cards. He loves this one. So I actually bought a bulk lot of these. I say bulk lot. There's about 5 or 6 of cards in there. These Mewtwo, Armored Mewtwo promos. Again, 10. Excellent score. Sorry, I keep looking at the art rather than the score. Some of you are here for the score, but I can't take my eyes off the artwork and how cool it is. This is a great card. Yeah, I bought them in a bulk lot. I think they were about $10 a piece, so it didn't cost that much. Can't obviously get them over. Well, we can get them over here, but they're a lot more expensive and a lot more unique. But yeah, this is really cool Japanese card. I'm really happy with that. I think this one was the one that I selected because obviously it had the best chance of getting a 10. I'm very strict when it comes to trying to pick cards. It's almost like a hobby within a hobby for me. It's a hobby trying to chase those 10s. So I actually find it quite exciting trying to sit down and go through all my collection to find those 10s. But I'm so happy this got a 10. I can't wait to show my son that later on. Next one is another English. Oh, original form Palkia V-Star. This is the secret rare. This is out of Crown Zenith. Again, sorry for my pronunciation, Crown Zenith, GG67. Again, another 10. So I made a massive mistake on these. I think I've got every one of these except for the Giratina, or I pulled every one of these except for the Giratina. I've had every one of these cards, obviously, except for the Giratina in a 10, and I sold the rest of them. And so this is the only 10 that I have. We have a couple more in here, I believe, out this same set that are worth grading. I wish I kept them. So really now I'm chasing these to try and get these back so that I can add them to my personal collection. So that will start me off well. That's a 10. Amazing. Next is another English card. So this is Melodic EX. This is out of Surging Sparks, and again it's a 10, which is amazing. So this one looks quite tranquil. I really like the artwork on this illustration. It's really cool. I was happy with that. I pulled that with my son, so he's going to be happy with that one as well. So yeah, and a 10, that is amazing. And again, one that I would keep for my personal collection. I really like that card. Next up, we have the Greninja EX in a 10. So this is a promotional card that you would have seen in some of the boxes recently. I think it's Twilight Masquerade based boxes. They had a Greninja, they had a Kingdra, I think they had King Gambit as well. Not always easy to grade these types of cards that have been in the boxes because they kind of rattle around, they get a bit loose, they get a bit damaged on the edges. I think I have 3 or 4 copies of this card, and I've obviously selected this one because it was the best of the bunch, but I think a lot of them had border issues, so they probably would have only scored a 9 or an 8 once you kind of compound that with any wear around the edges. But I'm happy this got a 10. I think it would be pretty hard to get this in a 10, so again, might be one that I keep for my own collection there. Next up is Mew EX there. So this is the English version, again in a 10. This is just a cool card, and I mean, I submitted this one because I think it would have got a 10, and obviously it did get a 10. I don't think there is any monetary. I don't know how expensive this is. You will see, you will see in the top corner how expensive this is. But it's such a cool card. I'm glad that I got that one graded. And again, if it looks clean, I'll take a chance on it anyway because I really like these display cases. PSA is my go-to because I do have an account with PSA. But I do like some of the tag grading, and I also like some of the ace graded. I like their slabs quite a lot. Oh wow, the Blastoise and Piplup GX again in a 10. What we got all 10s so far? Yeah, we've got all 10s so far. That is crazy. That is crazy. So I've never hit that many 10s in a row, but yeah, Blastoise and Piplup GX. So this is a Sun and Moon collection, the remix bout. I like this card. I actually bought this at a card show back in November. I think I actually paid like $10 or something for this card. So I can't remember what the market rate there was, but I may have overplayed by a couple of dollars. But it's such a cool card. I really like the card. I think it's well worth investing into. And again, if it's cool and I want it in my collection, I'll get it in a collection. So really glad I got this one. And again, I thought it looked clean when I viewed it on the, when I went to the card show. So that's why I obviously paid for it, and it's got a great grade, so I'm happy with that. Now there should be an English version of that in here. Oh, and there we go. Here's the English version. So that's Cosmic Eclipse again in a 10. So now we have the Japanese version and the English version of the same card in a 10, which is amazing. So that's out of Cosmic Eclipse. Again, Blastoise, Piplup, GX. That's an amazing score for us. I love this card. So there are 2 that I could display side by side. My son will love that one. Next up, we have another English one. Original form Palkia V-Star, and it's a 9. What's going on? No, 9's not bad. I think we've just had a run of quite a few 10s. Obviously, we're keeping counting here because I forgot. But the original form Palkia V-Star is an excellent one. So again, Crown Zenith again. Shame we didn't get a 10 in that one, but it is what it is. So that's our first 9 out of the lot. Next up we have... Oh no, the original form Dialga, and that one's in a 9. Oh no. So I love these cards though. They are so amazing. I wish I had more of an appreciation before I sold the others like an idiot, but this is amazing. So it's a shame that it's a 9, but nonetheless it's a cool card. And I am very strict normally on the bordering. So I would presume that based on what I analysed from the borders, or what I measured from the borders, that these would get a 10. But now I'm kind of seeing it. It's not, maybe I can't get the light just right, but there does seem to be a kind of white dot on that top edge and maybe on the bottom edge there. So that's maybe why it got a 9. Such a tiny thing. Generally with the Japanese cards, I find that they're better production. They have much better control over their production and quality control is the word I'm looking for, than some of the English versions. So it's a shame, but never mind. And another 9. What's going on here? Have I just hit a group of 9s here? So this is a Lugia V-Star, a Silver Temper Secret. I like these rainbow style cards. I know there's a lot of people out there that have mixed opinions about these things. A lot of people hate it. A lot of people love it. For me, I really like them. I think they're pretty cool. And I like this one especially. So I originally must have thought that it was pretty clean. But now looking at it, I have actually seen that this... See, I'm telling you, I'm really strict with these borders. But obviously I might have slipped up here. But looks like this right hand side border is much thicker than it's much thinner than the left hand side border. So that's a shame there. Probably one I could have skipped if I'd noticed that, but it is what it is. So 9s. Come on, we must be getting some 10s now. And a 10 and the Latias EX. What a score that is. So that's out of the Japanese version of Surging Spark. So you may have seen the English version. I do have the English version somewhere in here. I've graded the English version of this card, the Latias EX, but such a nice card, very cool. I think Latios is one that is over this side. I do not have that card though in Japanese or English. It's probably one that I would pick up if this one grades pretty well. So I'm going to put that to one side there so we can view it. And then next up we have, here we go. Yes, and a 10. I'm sorry, I keep missing these grades. It's a grade reveal. I'm like looking at the art and I keep missing the grades, but this one is a 10. That is an amazing card, and it's good. We got them both as a nice pair there, the Japanese again, and the Latias like our Blastoise and Piplup, and that is a cool card. So I really like that. Again, it's very clean. I noticed that I think originally when I sent it, there was some kind of, I think there was a slight bump on this top edge, but I think it was, I think I managed to kind of get rid of that. I don't think it was anything significant that damaged the card. I think it was just, there may have been a bump there. Again, I'm just very picky with these things, so there may or may not be, and if I see that there is, then I'll probably have a look at it in a bit more detail and see if I can iron it out in some way. But cool, so these two are some of the big kind of hitters that we've got in there. The next one up is, oh, you talk about big hitters. I'm saying they're the big hitters. This is the big hitter. Again, out of Palladian Fates. I'm sorry, so sorry. And it's in a 10. This is crazy. So this card, actually, originally I was going to buy at CollectorCon in Fort Worth in July. I think it's about July time, early July. This was about $90 you could have picked this up for. I didn't pick it up then. I actually went ahead and picked it up at a card show in November, and I bought it for $180. The guy, or the guy had like 3 or 4 versions of this, and he let me pick the one. So I obviously picked well, because this one has got a 10. I believe this is now nearly like $400 raw now. Now I know that that's ridiculous, but I do really like the artwork on this one as well. I do like the cartoony look. I think it puts Mew in a different light there. So I really do like it, and I'm so pleased that it's got a 10. My fiance wanted this card for a long time. She's been chasing it, so I'm glad that I get to finally add this to my personal collection. The next one that she wants to chase is the Magikarp from Paldea Evolved. So that's one that we've been looking for as well. I may purchase at some point. But again, at the moment, the market is pretty crazy. So I'll probably leave that. I'm going to put this, I'm going to put the Japanese Latias EX to one side. And then I'm going to stack my Mew EX on top of that one so we can showcase it for a little bit longer. I'm so happy that one got a 10. Next up, we have a Persian 9. So this one is out of Shrouded Fable. I think, personally, I think this is the best card in Shrouded Fable. I think now the market has gone up significantly for this card. So this one is a 9. Again, the grading, the margins look pretty good. The borders look pretty good. Yeah, they look pretty good on the back. So there is maybe some kind of slight dot on the card. Maybe this top edge here. Very hard to tell, but yeah, this one got a 9. It's a shame. I would really like this one in the 10 for the personal collection. But yeah, it's a cool card. I love it. I love it. It looks kind of sinister. I think it's probably similar to the Giovanni's Charisma card. It's a beautiful card. Shame it didn't get a 10, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Next up, we have Duskull. So I think this was the only one out of the lineup of Duskull, Dusknoir, and the other geezer that I had in English. So unfortunately, this one's only got a 9. This is out of Shrouded Fable as well, so that can match the Persian. Seems like maybe Shrouded Fable I haven't done too well with. Again, borders look fine. Yeah, they look fine on the back. No major issues. Maybe this one's slightly narrower. It's marginal. Maybe there is something on the... Bit hard to tell. Maybe there is something on the card. Maybe there isn't. But I think there's like a slight dot on the inside edge there. But it is what it is. So Duskull, unfortunately, you only got us a 9. Next up there we have Dusclops. So that's the one I missed off. The other one, Dusclops, Japanese version. So we have Dusclops in a 10. I believe I have 2 of these Dusclops in this set. So I'm hoping, actually, these next 3, these next 3 are a sequential set of Duskull, Dusclops, and Dusknoir. And with those ones. So this one was on its own because I had 2 of these Dusclopses, and I thought this was obviously worth grading. But nonetheless, it's a 10, which is great. Next up is, there we go, Duskull, art rare in a 10. Okay, so this is 872. 872 for that one. Such a cool card. I love it. It gives me like proper Halloween vibes there. Very fall, like, you know, autumn, however you term it. It is cool. I love the shadowing on the card as well, and that spotlight. It really makes them glow and it differentiates. It's a really cool card. Maybe I'm not doing it justice in the light here, but it's definitely one I'm glad to have. So that's 872. Next one is 873 in a 10, and that's Dusclops. So that is after, that follows after our Duskull. We've got the Dusclops there, again in a 10. So that's amazing. So now we've got 872, 873, and let's have a look at 874. So this is Dusknoir. We really want it in a 10. Yes, and now we've got them sequentially. Dusknoir in a 10. Amazing. Again, I just love it. I love those kind of purpley colours that they use on this, and this kind of mirrored card, or whatever you call it in the background. It really scatters light pretty nicely and separates it out. It's really cool. I love these on the kind of Gengar, those deep purples. So cool. So we have Dusknoir, Dusclops, somewhat backwards here, and Duskull, and then let's put them the right way around. Sequential. So I believe that you can sell some of the sequential stuff for more, but I'm not really worried about that. I'll definitely be keeping these for my own collection in there. So that's all the cards revealed there. So we did really well out of that set. So there are 17 cards which got a 10, which is crazy. 17 cards in there got a 10. So I just want to provide you with a final overview after that. It's such a successful grade reveal. It's provide you a bit of an overview of summary of what kind of expenses and prices we paid for things, just to be as transparent as possible with how much this grading process costs. and whether we made any profit on it. That the total worth of all the graded cards here is $3,586, which is crazy. Now, what I try to do is factor in, to work out the profit, I factor in a number of things. So one is the amount paid per card. So if I've just ripped a pack and got the card from it, I still say that I've paid $5, because really it's probably $5 per pack, or at least I've paid something around that. So I still say that it's $5. The Blastoise and Piplup GX, the Japanese version, was $10. The Blastoise and Piplup GX from the English version from Cosmic Eclipse, that one was $15.16 in there. So that one, that's with taxes. That one I bought from eBay. Now the Mew EX one, the Mew EX, I did pay, as I said before, $180 for that one. So I bought that, and I'm happy that it's got a 10, but you can understand that's quite a lot of money just to buy a raw card. But the way the market's going, a lot of things are pretty high at the moment. And then the other one I had in there was, let me just find it for you again, was the Armored Mew. So the Armored Mew, I bought like 6 of those. I think they're about $10 a piece with postage and packaging. I bought those from eBay. So I bought a bulk lot there. I took a chance on it, and it seems to have paid off quite well. Now there is another aspect, and it kind of spoils a grade reveal a little bit. So when you get a card like Mew EX and the price significantly increases on it getting graded a 10, you then have to pay a surcharge, and I think it's something to do with the cost to send it back to you and to cover the insurance and how much it's worth and what bracket it fits in. So it no longer become like a cheap bulk price grading. They add it up to a premium grading. So actually, just to grade that Mew EX, it cost me $74.99. So I also had a surcharge on that Latias EX that's in there as well. So that Latias EX was now, I think that one cost me $18.99 to get that one graded in there as well. And then the other one that was also upgraded price was the Melodic as well. Do play a surcharge on those ones, but the amount paid for the cards themselves, including the Mew EX, was $305.16. Now the grading price added together was $378.78. Then what I do is I add $2.50 postage onto each grading cost. That really kind of covers them sending the cards back to you and you sending them out. So a total for the grading price and the postage came out to $433.78. And then so the pre-graded cost of everything altogether was $738.94. So it is really expensive. I say it's kind of a hobby within a hobby. I'm really happy because I get the cards that I want. They're displayed nice. I know that they're, 10s is, I know that there's a lot of problems sometimes with PSA, but a 10 is a 10. I'm happy with that. So overall, 3,586, which is our price value of all the cards, minus the pre-graded cost, which is 73894, comes to $2,847.06 profit. So that's as transparent as I can be. I don't know if there's any more transparency I can add to that. All I can say is that I'm really happy these have got a high grade. I'm happy that you've been able to join me to see some of these reveals and go through the cards with me. And I'll be happy if you stay with me on this Pokemon journey as I start to do more grade reveals, other things. If you want to know more about how to grade your cards, what to look for, hopefully I can do a video on that and show you how to go through it. But overall, I love everything in this space. I think it's a really good community. So please like and subscribe to my channel. I put shorts out every single day of me opening different types of packs. So even if Pokemon's not your thing, I will definitely be opening other types of packs. So please stay with me, and I hope long term we can start to grow these things and we can start to do more releases like this. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.